She's got style, she's got grace, she's a winner. She's a lady. Oh, 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 she's a lady. Talking about that.
Thank you very much to all who organized this rally. This is really, I've spoken before here. I ran in 2002 for Attorney General, and this is really one of the most active groups in the state of Connecticut to protect our rights. Let me just start out by saying at the outset that Winston Churchill once said that the greatest of all personal Winston Churchill once said that the greatest of all personal virtues is courage, because without it, all the others are at risk. Well, I'm here to tell you that the greatest of all the amendments in the Constitution is the Second Amendment, because without it, all of our rights are at risk. Now, as the Supreme Court held more than 100 years ago, the Constitution does not create our right to bear arms. It merely protects us from efforts by the government to take it away. Because our rights, as our founders stated, and as our Constitution recognizes, were created by our Creator. And for a government to be legitimate, it can never take our rights away. Connecticut has a long and proud history as the center worldwide of firearms manufacturing. And those firearms have allowed many to gain their freedom around the world. Every country and city that has disarmed its law-abiding citizens has achieved the same result: more crime. If government is legitimate and truly is the voice of the people, it need never fear the people themselves when they're armed. Only a government that uses secrecy and force to impose improper laws which to which the people do not consent need fear the wrath of its law-abiding citizens at the ballot box or ultimately with arms. At long last, we now have a series of Supreme Court and federal court decisions that place the individual right to bear arms on firm footing. And now anyone who tells you, and you've heard it all, you've all heard it before, anyone who says that guns are dangerous and that only the government should have them is making what you all recognize as a false argument. Words are dangerous, too, and it's essential, as our founders recognized, that the people have access to them as freely as the government. Our right of free speech, and to back it up with arms if necessary, if our government becomes tyrannical and unjust, as King George's was to the colonists, are the most essential of the rights we as Americans have. Now, what does this mean that I will do for you as your Attorney General? It means that I will protect and affirm the individual right to bear arms that is enshrined in our U.S. and in our state Constitution. It means that I will oppose all efforts to create nonsensical distinctions that are nowhere supported by our constitutions between different types of firearms. Nowhere in the Constitution does it say that the government gets the effective firearms and the people the ineffective ones. Nowhere in our Constitution does it say that the government gets the modern firearms and the citizens only get the antiquated ones. This sort of political pandering to a minority of citizens who are afraid of guns must stop. Like guns, other effective tools in society are dangerous in the hands of a criminal. Cars, golf clubs, knives. But we do not take away essential tools from the majority simply because there is a lawless minority who abuses them. Every law-abiding gun owner supports vigorous enforcement of our criminal laws, and so do I. As your Attorney General, I will advocate firearms training for boys and girls in school, in Scouts. and elsewhere. We teach sex education in school, yet we omit the most basic skills needed to exercise fundamental constitutional rights. I will work to achieve cooperation between states so that Connecticut's law-abiding gun owners can carry their firearms with them throughout the nation. As your Attorney General, I will work with private ranges to ensure that they are adopting their private standards for safety and that town officials and other governmental officials are not allowed to impose inappropriate standards that would shut down law-abiding, safe private ranges throughout the state. And I will work to educate citizens and public officials that police do not prevent crimes, just like firefighters do not prevent fires. The people do. We must rely on ourselves and our neighbors in the first instance. This is our role as citizens, and our right to bear arms to do this must not be abridged. Thank you very much.